Hello, my name is Jenny and this is Senior Perspective. Welcome, sister friends. Today we are going to talk about how the sister wives use the show to hurt each other, basically. Now, if you recall, starting about 2 or 3 years ago, maybe even 4, 4 seasons anyway, I was saying when Christine left Kody that her behavior after she met David on the show felt very performative for me. It felt very over the top. It was almost uncomfortable to watch. Okay, it was uncomfortable to watch. I was happy that she was happy. And I know part of it is that. And I know she has a bubbly, outgoing personality to begin with. And she was over the moon in love. But it felt more than that. It felt like she was intentionally trying to throw digs at Kody and let him know, look, I've risen above. Because didn't he say, it's going to take me too long to find it, but I swear after she left, he said something to the effect of, she's not going to find anything better, or she thinks she's going to find this great man, but she's not, or nobody's going to want her, something along that line. And I can't remember exactly what it was, and I don't think it had to do with his comment about vetting. I just think in general, he really believed that he was the bee's knees. She's not going to find better than Kody Brown. Kody Brown, I'm the best. Nobody's going to find a cooler, tougher, better looking six-pack ab cowboy than me. Anyway, those were my comments a few years ago, that it really felt like she was using the show to send a message to Kody that I'm not only okay, but I leveled up.
That she did.
Now, on the flip side, we have seen Kody act like, my life is great now that the OG3 are gone. I got a beautiful, pretty wife. I've got these fabulous kids. We have fun. Perpetually. It's a good time in this house all the time, constantly. Over the top performative. We're doing this to send a message to Christine and maybe the other wives too, that my life is good.
Robin, me, and my children are all connecting constantly. It's an energy of connection perpetually. We have this nice family experience almost perpetually.
And I do believe, and I remember saying this at the time, his over-grabby nature with Robin was a way to kind of throw a dig at Christine because she always wanted him to be affectionate with her, and he wasn't. Well, we know he wasn't affectionate with Mary either, so really it was a message to both of them. It wasn't a message to Janelle because she never wanted him to be touchy-feely with her. Okay, now, we could go back and find a plethora of clips from Robin as well. In her interviews, not so much just the day-to-day stuff on the show, a little bit, but I would say more the couch interviews where she would say things, as well as the one-on-ones where she would say stuff that felt like it was a direct message to the other sister wives, not to the person interviewing her and not to the viewing audience, because we were like, bullshit, not true. But it's so funny. Her and Kody are so delusional that they think we buy what they're selling all the time. It's comical, really. Kind of pathetic, but also comical. I choose, rather than to pity them, to just laugh. I think even the conversation that Kody and Robin had about bringing on another sister wife was not about the two of them deciding if they were going to bring on another sister wife. It was a message to the other women that we're okay. We don't care that you left. We're not desperate for anyone else, but we could if we wanted to, because according to Kody, he gets all these letters in the mail. Who's writing letters and sending them to him? I want to know. Letters, that's what he said. Not emails, not text messages. No, he's getting letters from all these women who are interested. Robin co-signs the same thing. And yet he goes on to say at the very end of that episode, okay, I'm sorry that I contacted this person or I didn't let you know about it. In the future, I'll let you know about all the letters that come in. Do you think for a second that Robin Brown is not aware that letters were coming in? Let me backtrack. I apologize. Do you think that if said letters really did arrive at their house,
Just like hypothetically,
that Robin would be unaware? She never leaves the frickin' house. Kody, he can't stand to be in the house. He's always gone. Who do you think gets the mail every day? How can Kody receive said letters without Robin knowing about them? And also, do you think that all these years he's been receiving letters and hiding them from her and now letting her know on camera, oh, I've gotten all these letters, but I'll show them to you now. And she's like, okay, no. I'd be like, all these years you've been getting all these letters and you haven't said anything to me? Are you joking? Are you kidding? You're just now letting me know about this? Why? Why the secrecy, Kody? But she didn't. She didn't jump on him. Why? Because it's not true. He's not receiving all these letters from people who want to be his wife. Now, could there be crazy people out there who are like, yeah, sign me up. I want my 15 minutes of fame as well. Some people will do anything to be popular. Some people will do anything to get on TV. Some people will do anything for their 15 minutes of fame. I still hold true that that is the situation with Robin. But during that period of time, she convinced herself he's a good catch. Because the OG3 were all saying he's a great catch. So she was just buying what they were selling. They were all lying. They were all miserable. We're finding out so much more now. But Robin held on to any little bit to convince herself this is a good deal. Why? Fame and fortune. I can sit here and go on tangents all day long. Let's get back on track. The reason I started this was talking about how they use the show. Listen. Okay. This is the worst communicative family I have ever met. I'm sure there's worse out there. I'm just saying, personally, in terms of following them, there could be worse. I don't watch a lot of television. And I don't know. I guess I do know some people in my life who are pretty non-communicative. But by golly, it's exhausting to watch this Brown family not talk to each other. I understand that they were raised to be secretive, so that's part of it. I understand they're also in a situation where you can't share your emotions and your feelings with your sister wives or your husband because you get punished and penalized for it in their AUB faith. So I understand the grooming method of it for the women and how it's going to take them a long time to break it. As far as Kody's concerned, he's just trying to hide everything. And he's hiding his sins under the umbrella of AUB in that you're not allowed to talk about anything that happens here in our family outside of here. So I have more sympathy for the women than I do for Kody. Now, Robin wasn't really raised in it. She went to public schools. Her uncle daddy lived states away. She didn't have to be that secretive at all. All she had to do is say, I have a stepdad, but he works out of state, so he's not around that much. This whole hiding him when she went to the park kind of thing, ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. And she insults us to think that we would believe such a story. Or they are that dumb and paranoid that they're convinced when the stepdad comes to visit, everyone's going to think they're a polygamous family. It's the craziest thing I ever heard. I understand there's no polygamy in Ohio. I mean, there probably is somewhere. I don't know. It's not a thing over here. And it's more of a thing over there. But I acknowledge that. Even with that being said, all these people who interacted and worked day in and day out with Mary and Janelle and Kody, nobody ever guessed. Nobody ever knew. Because who would? First of all, nobody really cares. But it's not a go-to thing you would do, even in the environment where this would be a little bit more common than other places in the United States or other places in the world. So I don't buy it. I don't buy for a second her story. Okay, I'm off track again. Back on track, talking about using the show to hurt the other women. There's so many examples. We could practically go episode by episode and say, that was meant for this person. She's talking to Janelle over there. She's talking to this one over there. I really believe it. And it's not just Robin throwing digs at the OG3 and Christine throwing digs at Kody. I can see a little bit of all the wives talking to each other through the couch interview because communication doesn't exist in their family because they can't go to each other and say, you know what, I'm struggling and this is what you did and this is how it hurt me. Those words don't come out of their mouths. Again, because of the structure of the AUB, that if one wife goes to another and says, you really hurt me and I just want you to know what you did and this is how I felt about it, that wife will then go to KODY and say, do you know what your other wife said to me today? And if that wife is Robin, then KODY will defend her to the end and what they call punish the wife that tried to work something out with another sister wife. Even though KODY keeps claiming, I want my sister wives to get along, if they do share what they're feeling, they're punished for it.
Make it make sense.
Silent treatment, him not showing up, him yelling at him, you name it. You can't win in the world of KODY Brown, certainly not as one of his wives. And it appears you can't win as one of his children either, sadly. Unless they're Robin's kids. Okay. The letter I received the other day. One of the things that this insider with the family heard is the following. Let me just read to you. Okay. The cast uses the episodes to basically hurt each other. We know this. It's nice to get confirmation, though, from somebody who talked to somebody in the family and to hear what people in the family are saying. Okay. And when I say in the family, I'm not talking about the immediate family that we see on the show. Okay. This is cousins, aunts, uncles, in the family, but not somebody you know. Okay. The cast uses the episodes to basically hurt each other. It is more obvious now because their hate is becoming more deep. Robin is this is good stuff here. Robin is apparently very insecure with Janelle. This family member thinks it is because Janelle looked at Robin as an idiotic spender when she came into the family with no job and a lot of debt. Facts. Robin focuses her scenes on competing with Janelle in any way that Janelle is seen to be liked by the public. For example, in Flagstaff, Janelle was always gardening, producing things with a real work ethic, tending to the yard often. This also showed that the women have to take care of their own property because KODY is never seen doing any work unless it is at his house. That's so true. And do you remember that Christine complained that he was going to come and fix up her backyard? For the 7 years that they were there, he had never done it. Kept promising, never happened. Okay, back to the information here. Let's see. Therefore, the following scenes finally show Robin pretending to garden or tend to a plant on the deck to show that she is helpful outside as well. Then she is seen weed whacking. It goes on to say, this also explains why Robin suddenly likes four-wheeling. Oh yeah, that one I already came out on the show and said that was so blatant. She hated four-wheelers. She hated when KODY gave motorized vehicles to the kids for Christmas. She said in the thing, I don't like this. I don't like motorized vehicles. And this just makes me uneasy.
Motorized vehicles are not my favorite thing. I'm not excited. I think they're dangerous.
Let's remember, Dayton drove into a fence and messed up his eye on a four-wheeler. She didn't like them. She never liked them. And she never said, I used to like four-wheeling, but I don't now because my son got hurt, or now that I have children, I'm concerned for them. Never any mention of the fact that I used to be a four-wheeler and do tricks and things or something like that. I don't remember. She said something to the effect that she loved four-wheeling. We're like, you did? Since when?
I've been riding four-wheelers ever since I was about 13 years old.
Oh, you have? Have you really?
I like the speed. I like just kind of taking jumps. I like, going over some crazy terrain.
She's an expert.
My first time driving an actual motor vehicle.
They'd been living on that property for 7 years. Not once did we see Robin on a four-wheeler. But now, let me read on. The scenes before that one where Robin was ejected from the four-wheeler were Janelle and Christine in Idaho, bonding over four-wheeling. It's so true.
Janelle's actually leaving me behind in the dust. She is doing super great, and now she's just going. It's good to see this side of her.
Robin can't make the women jealous anymore, so she tries to show off with her connection to KODY. Oof, it's not working. I still think that she's repulsed by him. This also explains why she pulled multiple small Christmas trees. She was making fun of the triggering tiny tree that KODY and Janelle fought over. She's making a point that she has multiple trees, some of which are even large. This is her way of sticking it to Janelle. Okay, possible. It's one person's opinion. I thought Robin screwed up and ordered the wrong size tree. So she went and got another thing and said, we have another big one somewhere. But the reason why she didn't go get it is because they have garages upon garages upon garages full, packed to the top with crap. And there's no way she was going to be able to find it. Proof that they're all full and packed, we only see one, which is loaded with boxes still, but has an area in the middle kind of cleared out. That's the only garage we ever see. I think the other ones are packed. And if you say you're not going to be able to find a Christmas tree, who has ever lost a Christmas tree in their house? Even if you thought, oh, I thought I put it underneath the basement steps, but it's not there. Give me 30 seconds to walk around and look to see where else it could be. Because how many places can you hide a frickin' Christmas tree? The boxes are enormous. But you can lose it at KODY and Robin's house because they have that much junk. Okay, so this is this person's opinion. This person thought it was a dig at Janelle regarding the little Christmas tree. The little Christmas tree was the beginning of the end. It's true that it was triggering. That's what triggered KODY to go off because he knew that that Christmas tree was going to be part of the family getting together without him.
Don't you dare point your finger at me.
I've been here day long, in and out, for all these years without your support, while you were deciding what you were doing without consulting me.
You stay and talk.
I'm done listening to you.
You stay and talk.
No, I'm not going to, because you're not listening.
You're not listening to me.
And I'm not going to.
Okay, so we're done?
Goodbye.
Another example of them throwing digs at each other was Robin's daughter, Brianna, following her mom's example, trying to dress Janelle down by making a snide comment about her bed being for a dog in the RV tour scene. Yeah, that was for, it was Savannah's bed. She goes, oh, is this the dog's bed? And it was Savannah's bed in the RV. That was really, I mean, it's possible that it was ignorant of her to say so. It was also inappropriate for Robin to not be like, what are you talking about? Why would a dog sleep in such a large bed? Obviously, that's somebody's bed. You know, like to put her in her place, that never happened. So whether it was an intentional dig at, wow, looks like you're sleeping in a dog bed now, or whether it was stupidity on her part. Is that the dog's bed? Either way, it was not good for her to say it. And it was really not good of Robin and KODY not correcting her. I don't remember who was there at the time. There weren't a lot of people in that camper. I remember Savannah was there. Janelle was there. Obviously, the girls were there. It had to have been. Those girls don't show up anywhere without their mother. So Robin had to have been there.
Shut this door shut so Savannah can have her own little apartment thing.
Are these like gonna be for like doggies?
This is Savannah's bedroom.
This is their bedroom.
No, the dogs will live outside here.
No, they will not.
All right, let's move on. The other examples they're talking about, because some of these I'm like, yes, yes, yes. It says, KODY is very insecure over Christine. He keeps making these cowboy comments and playing up how attractive his dad was because he was a cowboy. Yeah, that's kind of gross when he said that. Do you remember that? I don't know if he keeps saying it. I remember he said it once, but he does talk about his cool cowboy father. The good looking part, I don't know. Well, he just recently made reference to it, right? Why all the women want to be with him because he's a good looking cowboy. No wonder he had all these wives that wanted to be with him. Remember that one? Okay. Goes on to say this is what Christine wrote about in the book years ago that made her fall for KODY. He was a real man who was so hot being a cowboy. Let me see if I can find that. My Sister Wives book. Bought it used online, so had no cover. But I put my Tata Farm sticker there. When I got my shirt, I got a sticker. Okay. Let's see here. All right, so Christine had met KODY, was starting to fall for him. About a year after she met him, she was going on a youth group trip. She rode in the car with KODY and Mary. Now, KODY and Mary were married. She rode with them up. I think they were going to Kody's ranch. I don't remember. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But they were going to like some ranch. It must have been his ranch. This is the same trip where he was grossed out by Christine because of her eating the nachos in the back seat. Yeah. They also got stuck in a snowstorm on the way up there and had to keep stopping and pushing each other's cars to get through the snow. It was supposed to take like a half a day to get up there, and it ended up taking all day and all night. They drove through the night because of the weather. Yeah, because that was great planning on Kody's part. I'm sure cars were breaking down along the way too, if any of them were owned by Kody. All right, so Christine now says, when we finally got to the ranch, Kody transformed into a hero. Listen to the delusion in this. This is the book that they wrote, about the second season on the show. When we finally got to the ranch, Kody transformed into a hero. He was a total stud. All the girls on the trip watched him with their mouths wide open, myself included. I'd seen Kody in action back in Utah. I'd seen him display his talents in church, and I'd seen how he transformed himself into the life of every party. But now I was seeing a whole new side of him. Kody was the complete cowboy. At the ranch, he was instantly in his element. He got right in there and wrangled cows. He worked the fields. He shoveled and cleaned and got down and dirty with all the animals. I was totally impressed. I thought Kody was the coolest guy in the world. He wrangled cows. He worked in the fields. He got down and dirty and did all the work. What? How could this? No wonder she was impressed and surprised. This is not the Kody that she knew before going. I'll tell you what, that's not the Kody Brown she knew after he got back. I think he was working hard on the ranch because Daddy Win was there. And Daddy Win is a hard worker and made the boys work hard when they were there. So Kody jumped in and behaved like he needed to, but the moment he stepped off that ranch, he laid back and was looking forward to collecting more wives so he could work even less. Okay. So that was related to that comment. It's what made her fall for Kody, him being a cowboy. Okay, it was so hot being a cowboy. So now Robin is getting this cowboy art to send a message back to Christine. When Christine stated that David was not a dude, but a real man, this is when Kody started playing up the whole cowboy side. He and Robin, on a horse together in Wyoming, also sent that message. It was so awkward. Do you remember that? He's trying to get his arms around her. The horse was like, oh God, this is too much for me. I can't. Robin looked scared. It was not two people galloping in the distance on a horse. It's pretty funny, actually. All right. But anyway, it was to play up the cowboy side. Okay. That's true. And we know this whole cowboy art stuff and not Rembrandt. What is the name of those expensive statues that he has? They're all cowboy. They're all cowboys on. They're basically horses, I think, but horses with cowboys on them are predominantly what I've seen of those. Oh, they are Remingtons. They're Remingtons. Yeah, the very expensive thousands of dollar Remington statues. Yeah, he's got one of those cowboy statues. Of course, right away, it was not a real one. Robin's like, I just couldn't find a real one. I thought it was a real one when I bought it, but I'm still looking for a real one. Robin, go online, Google Remington statue. You can buy one. Not that hard. Again, she says this stuff and thinks that we're stupid and we're going to believe her. No. There's art dealers all over that will sell you one. Okay. She doesn't want to get him a real one. She doesn't want to spend that kind of money. There are a couple $1,000s to get a fake. So there's no way no. We did a whole separate video on that when there was the Brody episode where we did a deep dive into how much Remingtons are and how much this cowboy art is as well. Now, they've always had ugly art on their walls, but it's usually been these like multicolored psychedelic stuff. There has been some cowboy stuff too. I mean, the walls were covered top to bottom in ugly art. I guess some of the cowboy stuff didn't look that bad. It just seemed out of place next to the bright purple psychedelic picture of, I don't know, a unicorn or something. I don't know. I never paid that close attention to it. I just knew, ew, why? Why'd you choose that? I mean, if somebody gave it to me for free and said, put this on your wall, I'm like, no, not gonna. But they pay a lot of money for this stuff. Okay. To each their own. Art is in the eye of the beholder, I suppose. What else are they using the show for to talk to each other? Let's see here. Christine always wanted physical affection from Kody. So now Kody is playing up that angle, seeing how affectionate he can be with Robin. Oh yeah, this is awful. This is awful. And I talked about this before. We're on to this one. This is so obvious that it's fake because it's so uncomfortable to watch. It is a way to hurt Christine if he can. Christine's comment about Robin doing more before their wedding was a blow. The thing that Kody is most scared of is Mary revealing his secrets. It's believed that the reason he came forward about the tryst was to beat Mary to the punch. It was also a mean way to show Janelle and Christine that they were never soulmate material because he never told them this story. That tracks. So then Christine finds out about it on the tell-all as she's watching it, and she sees about the tryst, and she's like, I never knew that. I never knew this story. So Christine makes a comment about Robin possibly doing more physically with Kody prior to them getting married. A huge no-no in their church, and something they have both denied, even though they had all these weekends alone together at her place. And she's also somebody who slept with her first husband before she got married to him. Proof? Dayton. Pregnancy before the marriage. So you want us to believe that she spent an entire year with him visiting her on weekends and they weren't physically? Yeah. Kody had premarital sex. She had premarital sex. Both admitted to it. So now when the two of them met each other, after both having done that and both having multiple kids and being physically intimate with people, this isn't something new to them, that they were chased alone together in her apartment. Yeah, no. This did not happen. It just did not happen. We know the character of Robin and Kody. We also know that they lie all the time. So we didn't do anything except give church kisses.
Chase kissing, little church kisses. Just little chase, little church kisses.
Okay.
Something you can do in front of your pastor, your bishop or something.
Okay.
Lies. So Christine makes the comment on the show, I wonder what else they did. And then she said, you saw their engagement photos.
If he's going to hide the college experience, we've all seen their engagement photos, and I just automatically think, I wonder how close they got before they were married. And he was super comfortable in her house, even walking into her bedroom. That's a lot of speculation. I'm, a little bit of betrayed right now.
Yeah, they were very intimate. One of those engagement photos was the car one, where she's leaning up and pressing her pelvis into him with the sun setting in the distance against the convertible car. So then what happens? They responded by putting up a giant art piece of that. They always had a picture, but then Kody goes and gets it made into a huge piece of art to put on the wall of their house. So it says they responded by putting up a giant art piece of their engagement photo, wherein they're being very affectionate before they're married. This is also why Robin talks about the great memories in that little sports car. Oh yeah, well, we've already said that too. And she's like, there's good memories in that car. We're like, yeah, we know. The back seat of that car can tell stories. All right, let's wind it up with how they use the show to communicate and talk to each other and throw digs at each other. Okay. Online, there was a pro-Janelle platform, and Robin was accused of being a snob on it. Now, not to come across as being a snob, she calls herself shy. This is a new narrative. I will admit, this is a new narrative. All of a sudden, Robin shy? What? Did you see the car? She speaks up all the time. Christine would always say, I don't know how she can talk to Kody like that. And I don't know how she can talk to these people like that. We can't. We were like trained to keep sweet and keep our mouths shut. Not Robin. She spoke up all the time. She always shared her thoughts. She had no problem letting us know that she was a victim when people weren't happy enough that she was pregnant. She was a victim when people weren't happy enough after she had the baby. People weren't happy enough that she came in the family. People weren't happy enough and open arms enough to welcome her kids. Like she's just on and on and on. Shy my ass. Of course, maybe most of that she just said on the show to everybody because they use the show to talk to each other. But we've seen on the show also her speak up, put Kody in his place often. Something the other wives can't do. Okay, so here, not to come across as a snob anymore, she calls herself shy. Kody added to that she is a shy, pretty wife. Probably added that because he also added that he was never attracted to Christine. Another dig at Christine. Christine claps back by saying Joe Darger was an architect and Kody was the fireman. Oh, that was a good line. That was a good line. When it comes to leading a family, there's different kinds of leaders and different kinds of men. There's architects that design and create a great framework and build an amazing family. And then there's firemen that just run around with a hose to put out fires. She goes on to say Joe Darger is an architect, Kody is a fireman. That was good. That was such a good line. That was Christine. Kudos, Christine. That was great. Okay. Again, it's true. She's saying that to hurt Kody and Robin. Boy, they do use the show to talk to each other, don't they? It goes on here to say every time Kody and Robin are filming something, it is to send a message to the other wives. He's now talking about how his children, Robin's kids, his children are funny and so fun to be around. This is what I was talking about earlier. This is also to take a dig at the OG kids. I mean, you have to be stupid not to see that that's what it's going to do. So, I mean, he is not the brightest bulb, but he's aware. He's hurting his other kids by saying these kids are so much fun to be around. We have fun perpetually, all the time, constantly.
We have this nice family experience almost perpetually.
This person went on to say, it's a way to say, screw you, I don't like you, but I do love them. I don't think he loves them, though. I disagree with that end of that sentence. I could see him being like, screw you. You're not being really nice to me. I'm not going to be nice to you either. I mean, he's come out and said those words. You're not going to be nice to me. I'm not going to be nice to you. That's it for that. Gosh, he acts like he's in kindergarten often. At any rate, I agree with that. But I don't agree with it where it says, I don't like you, but I love them. I don't think he loves them. I think he tolerates them. And I think he puts on an act for the camera. But we heard them say how they were scared of Kody, Brianna and Aurora, that he's not an easy person to talk to. I don't think it's a harmonious atmosphere in that house. It's awkward and uncomfortable anytime we see them interacting with each other, and that's them putting their best foot forward. So on a normal basis, there's no harmony and peace in that home. I guarantee you. Maybe there is when he's not around. Maybe it's more peaceful and calm and easygoing when it's just Robin and the kids. I could see that. I could also see her being difficult to get along with and that being a hard situation as well. But definitely the Tasmanian devil that Kody is and the craziness, the turmoil, the angst, the uneasiness, the chaos that is Kody Brown and that follows him wherever he goes. It's got to be more peaceful in that house when he's simply not there. This person believes that Kody intentionally did not include Savannah in Christmas and didn't invite her, and even though he invited the rest of the kids, to send a message to Janelle, to hurt Janelle. Oh, it's awful. Because that was right after the big fight with Janelle.
It's been a week and a half, and he hasn't said a thing or called or texted Savannah. So, I don't know. I hope so. Because, my hell, it's Christmas, and this is your girl, your daughter who lives in town, and she's done nothing to you.
If that was his intent, I've always given him the benefit of the doubt that he forgot one of his children, which is awful too. I don't know, which is worse. Which is worse? Tell me down below. Which is worse? That he forgot he had a child in her house, a young child who was still in school at her house and didn't get her a Christmas gift and didn't invite her over for Christmas, even though he invited Christine's kids to come over at Christmas? Did he forget his own child? Or did he not forget about her, but he had so much anger and vitriol against Janelle at that time that he was willing to leave Savannah out of the equation altogether in order to hurt Janelle? I'll tell you what, I'm 50-50 on this one, which is worse. It's awful both ways. There's no way of him getting out of this one. Do you remember him trying? But, well, that was his response. My interpretation of his response.
I haven't even talked to Savannah in 6 weeks. Like, you didn't even call her at Christmas or anything. Like, nothing.
Well, everybody...
It goes on to say that Kody got Savannah nothing that year for Christmas as a way to hurt Janelle for choosing her kids over him. Oh, that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Because he gave her that ultimatum. We know it wasn't on the show, but we know now. And she said that when they were driving at one point in the car that he told her, you need to decide the kids or me. And she's like, they're my children. I have to pick you or my children. I have to pick you, who's living with another woman and spending all this time and money on her and her kids and showering her with attention and everything else. That I have to pick that situation or my children? Are you joking? Who would ever make you make that? Oh, he is evil. He is evil and as selfish as they come, that he would make that ultimatum to her. And so she chose the children.
Yes, she did.
So it totally makes sense. And it's on par with Kody to retaliate by pretending like her children just don't even exist. She chose them. She can spend Christmas with them. I'm not going to. That's so Kody Brown. So many times he's come out and said, I'm not reaching out to them. They have to reach out to me. They have to do the work.
And the boys were asking if you thought you would come over, and I said
No,
I wasn't optimistic.
No, I'm not coming over. It's I have a house. I have a place where we would have Christmas.
Come serve me. Otherwise, you don't exist to me. Gosh, poor Savannah. Ooh, it's not in here, but how did Janelle get back at him after that? Savannah told her that when she gets married, she wants one of her brothers to walk her down the aisle.
Checkmate.
That was sent directly to Kody. Yeah, they go back and forth, don't they? You want to pretend like she doesn't exist, not acknowledge her, not buy her a Christmas gift when she's a child? Okay. Well, as an adult, she's going to make choices too. You cut her off, she'll cut you off. Ooh, two can play at this game. Just like you say, Kody, you cut me off, I cut you. You don't come here, I'm not going to go there. Well, they can do the same thing. And it's okay because they're the children. They're your children. They may be of adult age, but you are still the parent, Kody Brown. Just saying. Moving on. Okay. There's a side story here. It's pretty juicy, but I'm asked not to share. This is not public knowledge and don't share this, but this will give you a little bit more insight. And it does. But I'm going to move on. Does the sister friend have anything else here to say? What this relative shared. Oh, another way to hurt Janelle and Christine was taking Aurora to get her ears pierced. Yeah, we know that. I can co-sign that. I think we even said that when we saw it in the video. He wouldn't allow anyone to get their ears pierced, but he's going to take his adult daughter as if she's 12 or younger to get her ears pierced. It's a special daddy-daughter experience. That was a complete, absolute, look what I'm doing with this family that I didn't do for your family because I like them more. Well, he likes Robin more. He'll do anything for Robin. Robin could have orchestrated that whole ear piercing thing for all I know. I wouldn't put it past her, but Kody would jump on board for sure. Okay. This is not about that topic, but I'm going to include this in the video. This video has gone so long. Why not at this point? Because there's not a whole lot, and it's not really a video's worth of information. But it said most of the action scenes that they have in the show are just fake scenes to add drama, such as leaving Lehi in the middle of the night. KODY could very well have gone back to their community in Utah and become a prestigious leader in this new independent faith that they had. The one thing that he needs to continue to do if he ever wants to be a leader in the independent faith is to continue to live a life of polygamy. This is why he had to make sure that Mary's divorce was because she left him. It wasn't a message to the AUB leaders. That's what I always thought it was. That's what I said on my channel. So that was my opinion. Said it wasn't a message to the AUB leaders when he got married to agree to say that their relationship was over. It was a message to potential future followers. Can you imagine? The Church of KODY?
God forbid.
Starting his own. I have heard this rumor and dismissed it over the years. No, KODY wants to start up his own faith there in Arizona. He wants to start his own sect, his own. I'm like, he's too lazy. He's not going to want to be a leader of anything. He can't lead his own family. He can't lead himself. So there's no way it's going to happen. However, he does think he's very important, and he does like people to look up to him and bow down to him. And we've seen that with his family on the show. According to this person, it's still a thought in the back of his mind. But it can't happen if he's not a polygamist. So getting Mary to say it was her decision to leave him and that he didn't kick her to the curb. He kicked all three of them to the curb. Well, Janelle is the iffy one. But the fact that they got releases from him does not bode well for KODY if he wants to become a leader. The prophets in the AUB church said, yeah, you done them wrong. They're released from you. It's as if you were never married. So really, in the eyes of the church, he's had two wives, Christine and Robin. It seems obvious to me on the show, based on the number of times that she pointed out that he has physically removed himself from any kind of relationship with her, emotional or physical, that she can just be present. And she's like, yeah, no, I don't want that. I'm out of here. So I see it as he pushed her to the curb. He basically divorced her in every way other than financially accepting her money, because how much was he really supporting her? The show money was her money. Her Plexus money is her money. I don't think he financially supported her. I think she made out and he got hurt financially by her leaving. I think he knew that all along, and I think that's partly why he was holding on to her. But the other part could be this, that in the back of his mind, people in the family believe that he is toying with the idea of starting up this independent faith. Well, he can't now because he's not a polygamist. So that dream is gone. He has 16 kids that basically don't talk to him, are frustrated with him, or have gone years without communicating with him. And he's got 3 wives that left. How can you be a leader? I bet he still thinks he can, though. I really do. Just knowing KODY, I think he thinks, I can still do this. I can still start up a church, an independent church. Oh, it's crazy. Okay, anything else? Anything else? Let's see. Oh, wait, here we go. Yeah. No. I said that in the last video. That was about the independent faith and how then he started creating his own, which holidays do we celebrate and all that. That was all back. That was well before the show began. It made no sense. Like, you have a faith and a doctrine that tells you what you should do, and it's quite strict. It's crazy and it's strict. Where are all these random things that you're like, we don't celebrate Christmas, but we'll celebrate Hanukkah? We don't celebrate, like, it was just like, it was so disjointed and didn't really make sense. I understand not wanting to celebrate the secular side of Christmas or the secular side of Easter, but my gosh, in the Christian faith, Christmas and Easter are the 2 most important days. It is the birth of Jesus, and it is the resurrection of Jesus. I mean, it doesn't get more significant than that. But KODY was not celebrating those, but celebrating Jewish. It made no sense to me. And no one else was talking in the AUB faith about doing this. And Christine and the other wives just said, this is something KODY wanted to do. I'm like, well, how can KODY just decide what he wants to do? He was in an independent faith, creating his own rules. I would love for them to get another sister wife and just see, what does that look like?
A hot mess.
They're not going to get married in the AUB faith, but what independent polygamous faith now? How can they find somebody to marry them? Maybe Joe Darger they'll bring in. I don't know. It just would be so interesting. The opportunity for the show to continue on is there. I just don't know. I feel like it's stagnant and we're not going to go very far at this point. It is what it is. Everyone's left. Kody's too stubborn to really reach over the aisle, if you will. I think those were his terms at one point, and make amends with the kids. But
he's too stubborn.
And I don't think he's going to bring in any more sister wives because I don't think Robin really wants that. And he doesn't want it either. I tell you, if the right person came along, though, who wasn't as naggy as she is and is younger and prettier and a real diesel jeans model, not a fake one, he might change his mind. All right, so all the scenes, all the action scenes are fake. So that whole scene was a lie, which we've said the whole time. They have to continue to live polygamy if he were to ever. This is why he wanted Mary to say it wasn't a message to the AUB leaders. Okay. He got Mary to agree to say that the relationship was over. Yeah, remember that scene where he got her to say something and he said, okay. Ugh, the creepy manipulation of that scene when they were both sitting on the couches in her house. That bothered me.
I did say I didn't want, I could fake through it.
Yeah, I'm not interested in faking a
But
relationship.
that's not me saying
anymore.
I can't work on it. You're trying to make me own it. We agreed mutually that the relationship isn't going to progress.
You're right, we did.
Okay. Moving on, moving forward together.
There's no moving forward together.
Right. Okay.
All right, the final thing it says here is the question that other family members want Robin to be asked is, quote, now that you have Kody all to yourself, are you rejecting him affection-wise? I'm sorry, but if you're doing that, then I don't see how that's going to help your relationship, end quote. That is a direct quote of what Robin said about the OG3 and why their relationships weren't working out because they were rejecting him affection-wise. Oh gosh, that's funny. Ended it with a funny. Okay.
He's had wives reject him affection-wise because they are uncomfortable or they don't like it. That's not who they are. I'm sorry, but if you're rejecting someone's affection, your spouse, I don't see how that's going to help your relationship.
Oh, and then it says, is he still your best customer now that he's yours full-time? Questions from extended family to Robin. Robin doesn't watch this channel. But if she does, you can write down below, Robin, and let us know your response. Oh gosh, that's great. It just goes on to say, sorry, this is all over the place, trying to get all the information into one email. And it's somebody who said, thanks so much for getting me hooked on Welcome to Plathville and then not doing any more reviews of it.
Forgive me! Forgive me! Please? I'm sorry.
Listen, I heard it got good, and I feel like maybe I'll have more time now, and I'll go back and watch them and just do a quick review. Listen, what slows me down is the creation of the videos. One, just recording them, but the amount of time it takes to edit, and then I can't help myself but to want to insert stuff. But mostly I have pictures that takes a lot of time to every time another picture pops up or I'm talking about somebody, I would have the picture of them in there. Because I figured for people who don't see the show, that's the only way they can follow along. But honestly, if I just watch the show, take notes, sit down, do a recording, and then put out a 20 to 30 minute video response of my opinion of it without all the bells and whistles that I like to do, I could do it. So that's going to be on my list of things to do, to go back, because I think I have 2 full seasons to do of Welcome to Plathville, and I think one is getting ready to start up again. So I'm really behind, but I'll try to catch up so I can do Welcome to Plathville. Unfortunately, in the past, they were always doing Welcome to Plathville, Seeking Sister Wives, and Sister Wives all at the same time, and it was just too much. But now that Sister Wives is over, because that takes up the bulk of my time, I can. Okay. Thanks for watching this to the end, and thank you in the off season when things are slow for continuing to watch the content that I am putting out and for coming to my live streams. It means a lot to me, sister friends. It really does. Even if you're not at the live streams live, if you watch it on review, that's fine too. Watching my content, I appreciate you. Thank you. Take care. God bless. Adios, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.